Yeah, just play it, man. We'll figure it out.
All right, welcome back to the Pumpernickel podcast.
Yeah.
Is that what we going with? All right, I'm Elvin,
I'm Michael.
Eddie.
and then White Michael is in another room playing Overwatch. So I guess we'll go ahead and get into it.
Typical Wednesday night. Drinking,
getting right. Tampico / vodka.
With our favorite guest star, alcohol.
There it is.
It's a Wednesday on those lonely nights, my friend.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. I don't know what the fuck to talk about.
It's because we did all this talking before this. We drove over, we grabbed food. That was an adventure due to some water main break.
Someone decided to delete the podcast app, re-download it.
Fuck you, nigga.
Nah, man, it's all good. But we've had our conversations about life, what we're gonna do in the future, and
we could rehab that conversation to make some time for the podcast.
All right, well, I'm in fuck it mode.
All right, well, I guess that's a quick introduction into your life.
Yeah, because I'm 26, about to be 27 this August, and I say fuck it.
Yes, life sucks, nigga. Nah,
life's been good. I'm just like, fuck it. It is what it is. Whatever rolls around comes around, and so far so good.
Let it rock. You
living the millennial life,
Mike.
Oh, fuck that song as fuck. I'm 29, about to be 30 in 4 months. I'm currently going through whatever crisis you go through at this age.
I didn't even think about the fact that you might be going through it.
Oh, bro, I've been going through it.
Really?
Yes.
Damn. They got my man out here struggling.
I'm 30, man. You're 3-0.
Be looking out the window on rainy days, trying to contemplate what I'm gonna do with the rest of my life.
Oh, fuck. Oh, that's right around the corner.
Twiddling my thumbs like, oh man, I think I should buy a boat.
Oh, I'm 28. Yeah, so that's a bucket change.
So you're right around the corner. So am I.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's a bucket change.
The 20s are over, man.
20s are over, and I don't know if I miss them. They're not bad.
I've had a good time.
Yeah, I've had great times.
But I still get lit.
Yeah, like it's just that I can't think of anything that's like, well, I'm sure it'll get to me months before mine too. You know what I mean? Like usually like a couple months before you're 30, you're just like, oh, now you gotta go run and rock climb and bungee jump and all this. Because you think there's some strange
fuck
reason.
all that.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, for you, yeah, it don't matter. You don't give a shit. But like,
it's like, hey, you wanna jump to your death for the
for the BuzzFeed ass 29-year-old, you know what I mean? They want to rock climb and do all the shit they never did in their 20s somehow in the last 4 months of their 20s.
Yeah, nah, you miss me with all that shit.
No, that's cool, but yeah, like I guess that's something to talk about. Is the idea that the 20s are almost
over for us, yeah.
And I mean, it's not like crazy. I mean, you gotta figure out what to do.
Yeah, you gotta figure out what you want to do, what you're content doing, and what you
right. Yeah, if you like what it is like, what would suck is to wake up into the 30s not liking what it is you do. I think.
Well, I mean, we're essentially at the same point in life where we were when we were 18. Like, hey, what do you want to do with the rest of your life, nigga? I don't know.
Yeah, but you had a plan. And then at 18, it was college. At least for me, it was like, I'm going to college.
Well, I mean, that's not a plan, nigga. Like, you went to college because everyone else you knew was going to college.
Yeah, but what I mean is, like, but you had a plan. Like, you knew what you were going to do the next 4 years,
You know, that's a good-ass point I never thought about, though. Like, with the both of y'all, it's like...
Yeah, you just procrastinated it.
That's true. Like, 30 is like 18 minus the hope.
Yeah.
Like, you're right. That's exactly what that is. 13 is 18 minus the hope.
Yeah, because at this point it's just like, all right, well, what do you do now? Like the quote unquote plan would just be to get a job, get a family, and get a white picket fence, and then call it a day. It's just like, but that shit ain't for everybody.
Yeah, it's not. And we're the growing generation of people that say otherwise. Like millennials are definitely the start of the I don't want this shit generation.
Yeah.
And also maybe because you can't have it. Of course,
there's that too.
Yeah, part of it is simply because we can't afford it. But I also think that we realized that it wasn't what it was cracked up to be in the first place.
Yeah, no, I don't want that.
Yeah.
As a Mexican American, I was expected to have been married ages ago. You know what I mean?
Nigga, you supposed to be. You're 50 in the Spanish community.
One, you were 50 in the Spanish community. Yeah. Two, you're supposed to have at least 3 kids by now.
Yeah, you gotta have at least one bouncing kid running around as we speak.
Yeah, and that's not the case, man. and that's not something I want. Like, sure, kids sometime later, not today.
Right. Yeah, when you get your shit to where you want it to be, then because like I said, I don't give a shit about the age part of having a kid. If I was in a financial situation, like if I was worth like millions right now, and I was with somebody that I really cared about, I would have the kid at 28.
Yeah,
fuck that.
Yeah, it's just that I'm not in a financial place or the emotional place.
Nigga, I don't care if I was Bill Gates and I was married to the woman I loved for the past like 12 years. You're not gonna catch me with a kid. Fuck that.
Yeah, well, at least that's good though, because at least you know, like there are plenty of people that want, like kids aren't like puppies, but like kids are like
they basically are.
Kinda, yeah, in the sense that like everybody wants them, but not everybody should have them. You know what I mean? Like it's like puppies aren't for like. We live in a society the same way with like dogs. It's like everybody wants a fucking dog, but not everybody can take care of.
Yeah, you gotta feed them. You gotta look after them. You gotta make sure that they go to the hospital and that they stay alive. You gotta make sure that you clean shit up after them. Like they're essentially fucking pets. The only difference is they came out of another human. So people are like, oh, like I should care about this just a little bit more than I care about my dog. But let's be honest, there's a lot of bitches out there that are just like will prioritize their pet before they prioritize their kid.
That's true.
Some of these dogs walking around with Gucci and Fubu on.
And the kid
Gucci and Fubu.
That my man said Gucci and Fubu. That man said
opposite
Fubu.
ends of the spectrum. Gucci and Fubu.
That man said Fubu, bro.
Hey, man.
But it's
we might have to restart the podcast.
But you've also seen kids out there, and like I've seen them in like the malls locally here in Atlanta, where parents have their kids on like leashes.
Yeah.
And it's like
that's a primarily Caucasian mode of transportation.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, because like, why a leash, bro?
Yeah, exactly. Because I feel like
it's laziness.
I mean, you couldn't just hold your child's hand.
Not to be stereotypical about us, but I just feel like the average black parent has enough mental leash control over their kid.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, to where a leash isn't necessary for your child.
All you gotta do is raise their hand up one good time, and the child knows, you know what, I shouldn't be running all over the place.
If your parents are fired up, they just gotta give you the look.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right back where you're supposed to be.
Put the fear of God in you.
Yeah, they look at you the wrong way. It's like, well,
you knew you were fucked when you got back home.
Yeah.
At least in my house, it was like the chocolate's coming out.
You said the chocolate.
That slipper's coming out.
Yeah, I'm catching the slipper to the wig.
You put your chupacabras coming for me.
Yeah. My man said the chupacabra.
You put your hands back there to block. Your hands getting it and your ass getting it. So like it's.
God.
Eddie, you can't make drinks no more, dog.
Bro, ain't that shit packed with alcohol? Eddie will give you a spritz of Jason and give you 90% of that raw alcohol.
No, I gave you the good one the first time. The first time was good. It was solid.
Yeah, the first one was good.
No, I'm not giving you try. It's that. What he is like, you like how some people make a drink to make it taste good but give you a hit of alcohol? Eddie makes a drink to give you as much alcohol as you can take without detecting it. You know, like, that's how Eddie makes a drink. How much could I put into this cup?
Yo, for real though, Eddie, if you were a bartender, you would clean the fuck up. Because niggas would love you making drinks like this.
He would not clean up because the bar would hate his fucking guts.
The bar would hate his fucking guts.
People would fucking love it.
He would get tips out the wazoo.
Oh yeah. People would love him, but the bar itself would hate him. Well, maybe not, depending on it. Because if you could do it with if you could mask a cheap alcohol, maybe they'll be like.
Yeah.
Actually, Because if you have one that high, it doesn't take that lot, you know.
Yeah.
Go through less of a bottle. The person gets happy. They also get the fuck out of the way.
Right. Why not throw in some Everclear? You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely, man.
Spritz of Everclear in the middle of the bottle. I guess
you become like a master, like DJ controller. There, you see how people are, their states of inebriation.
You're a legit chemist, dog.
It's time to switch it up to this.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I'll hit them with the.
Dude, it's like I was at Moondogs a couple weeks ago, and I show up before everybody else did. Everybody else was getting pizza, and I was like, "No, I'll go straight to the bar." So I show up there by myself like some fucking scrub. All right, I walk in there at fucking like 10 o'clock, early as fuck. I walk into Moondog, no one's really there. Got a couple of like local people. They know the bartenders and everything. I sit down there by myself. Luckily, there's fucking Olympics going on. Otherwise, like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Why this guy here?
I felt like those guys that go to strip clubs at noon.
On Wednesdays.
Right.
Yeah.
That was who I was a couple Saturdays ago.
Damn.
So I get up there and I'm like, can I get a Corona? I'm like, yeah, okay. It's just a little beer to wash up the taste buds, get everything going. And then he comes back. He's ready, man. He's looking at me. He comes back. And he's like, he's got another Corona in his hand. I was like, Oh no, can I get a little whiskey sour? He goes, okay. You know how they give you drinks and it's a small glass, it's not like almost like those little glasses that are like 3-shot glasses.
Yeah.
One, that kind of size. Well, he comes back with a full like 16-ounce glass
Oh, 16-ounce glass of Jameson?
of like whiskey sour.
Jeez.
So he loads this shit up with like whiskey, then like puts some sour mix at the top, some ice, and then drops it in front of me, and I'm like, okay.
There it is.
I guess we're doing this.
Yeah.
Was it like 50% ice?
$10. No, it was mostly like 50% James.
Oh,
Like
wow.
50% Jim Beam.
Jeez.
And I was like, fuck this. This is some strong ass alcohol. So I take a sip and I'm like, oh no. And I'm still drinking this. And I drink it so fast that I order a second one. And next thing I know, I'm 3 of these things in. It's 10:30.
In the zone.
Sanchez.
10:30. My friends text me and they're like, we're headed your way. I'm like, oh, cool. I think hours have gone by. No, it's 10:30. I'm sitting there like, guys, because I can feel the effects of the alcohol taking over. You know when you kind of start getting a little numb in your face and you're like,
Yeah.
there's the tingle.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel it with my inhibitions first. I feel it with what I will do go down, like go up with me.
yeah, I start getting friendlier. I'm nodding at people, like suggesting things and shit. Yeah, that tequila, this is good. You know?
Yeah, you actually have a conversation with strangers.
Yeah, and it's like, fuck, I'm kind of drunk now. And because I haven't, I don't drink regularly anymore.
Right.
Not like when I was younger, so
When
I was pretty lit, dude. 10:30 rolls around, my friends show up, and I'm just like, and we're celebrating a friend's birthday, and I'm like, well, it's time to do some shots. Oh my goodness.
There it is.
I woke up the next day, I said, never again.
And then 2 weeks later.
And 2 weeks later, here we are.
There it is. back to square one.
Back to business.
Yeah, man, I don't know. But continue with that 30 subject, man. It's like, it is around the corner. You can't stop it. I mean, unless you murk yourself first, I guess. But like,
Well,
Also not an option.
Way to be optimistic.
hey, man, I'm just listening. I'm listing all the options, bro.
Is that really an option though? I mean, like,
Murking yourself is always an option. This is not a good suicide prevention podcast, I guess. I mean, I'm not saying you should. I'm saying suicide is an option in the literal sense.
I mean,
Just like sucking dick's an option.
Exactly.
straight
It is
guys.
an option. It's just an option that we refuse to take. Like it's present. You know what I mean? It's like you can always do it whenever you feel like it. It's just nah. But yeah, like 30, man.
side note though,
Oh.
don't actually kill yourself, people.
Yeah,
exactly.
no. We
Suicide
do
prevention,
not
yeah,
endorse.
yeah.
Call
No one is.
people,
Yeah, I'm not endorsing.
Reach
it.
out to friends or
Exactly. He said reach out to friends or yeah. He went through,
Yeah,
like
support groups.
he
There's
went through like the Donald Trump level of damage control.
no. You hear about these like hotlines that I don't know if they work or not. They have hotlines where you dial and someone's supposed to pick up.
Someone's supposed to. Damn, what if you on lunch in the middle of suicide prevention? You know what I mean? Oh, that's all right. We're not
They can't be on point all the time, right?
That's true.
Like what
But I
happened?
guess somebody like steps in and covers.
Yeah, that's you have backup. Like,
Yeah, you got
Like,
a
how
whole
much,
list of suicide
so how
prevention.
much do these people get paid? These suicide like talkers.
I don't fucking know.
I imagine that they just are.
Is that a federal program? Are my taxes paying for this?
I don't know. Are you gonna protest it if it is?
Well, I'm just curious if my money's
When
going
do
to
you
this.
care about taxes?
Because I pay them. Though.
Yeah, you pay them, but I don't think you're like a tax person to care about it enough to like
No, I'm
wonder
just
where
curious.
every dollar goes.
I'm just curious, where
That's
this
true,
money's
yeah.
coming from.
Where the funding comes from. I don't
Because
know.
if it's government funding, I don't know how good these suicide talkers are. Is it worth it?
True, I guess. From what I heard, it's actually pretty helpful. I mean, from what I've heard.
Well,
But anyway, yeah. Back to things other than suicide, like turning 30. Like, yeah, it's I don't know. Like, I think there's a stigma around it too that we need to get rid of because it's just like I know people keep saying 30 is the new 20 and stuff like that is corny, but I don't really think it's corny because we live like like with time dilation or whatever it is, where everything like your parents before you were like older than you in the sense that like there was more degrees of separation between you and them.
Mm-hmm.
Those walls are going away with the internet, with like developments like games and technology and stuff like that. People in their 30s and 40s are still doing a lot of the stuff that kids nowadays are doing in a lot of ways. And of course you have the maturity of an adult, but in the same sense it's like what bars you from those age groups is starting to blur, it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the stigma part of it is like once you get to 30, people expect you like, oh, 30 is that age where you're supposed to have your life together.
Right.
You're supposed to have a car, have a house, be married, thinking about kids, just be what you would imagine a full adult to be, and that's just not always the fucking case. One of my friends started. He was 29, and he started trying to date around women who were 30, and them women were serious about locking the motherfucker down. Like they went out on like 2 dates, and like that chick was just like, "Cool, that's it. Like, time for you to meet the parents, and we'll talk about getting married and all sort of shit." And it was just like, damn, bitch, like slow down, like. And I was like, yo, like how old is she? He was like, she's 31, and I was like, oh, that explains it. Yeah. Like, cause like she's past that point where like from a societal stigma perspective, like she's not where she feels she needs to be, and she's trying to play catch up.
Right.
It's just like it's just not a race, it's life. Like,
well, I agree that we need to get rid of the stigma of it too. I totally agree with that. I just think that for some women, because of course not all women care about it, but for some women there is the whole you are living on a time crunch. Yeah. In the sense of like, if you're a woman that does want kids, you have a preset time limit to do that in.
Yeah, but I mean, like you don't necessarily need to be the like 100% adult to have a child.
True, but I'm not saying that. I'm saying that like if you're like bullshitting or whatever with your 20s and then your 30s hits, you've got like 5 or 6 years. Now that seems still like a lot, but if you're talking about the flow of a relationship, like 5 years is nothing in the flow of a relationship. 5 years is nothing in the flow of a relationship. Yeah, so it's
if you're like, hey, like I'm trying to have some kids and I'm trying to have them soon,
right?
If you find a dude that's like, all right, yeah, you throw that ass in a circle and boom,
that nigga said.
Having kids is easy, making them,
taking care of them is the hard part. And, and for men, I think it's different because, like, biologically, at least from our standpoint, we could never not have them. I don't think there's really any point where men can't just have a kid.
You get erectile dysfunction.
Yeah, and even then, I mean, you still probably get it off. Yeah, so it's like, I said get it off. You still get one off. But, like, I just think that maybe there's something to that, I guess. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's I think a lot of the stigma, like you were saying at 30, is that like you have to, like you were saying, submit to these society rules. It's just boring, you know. In my head, it's just boring. That's why I don't want. Like, I have my car. I could buy a house. I could put down down.
Any one of us could get rid of a
more. I could get a house. You could submit and like get this, maintain your job and just find a girl, settle down. But then it's just like you've gone through the steps,
right?
But you've given up on life.
Yeah, and then
you give it up on your own life.
Right,
you know what I mean? Yeah. And like, I'm not ready to give up on my life.
Yeah, because once you have a kid, your life is over.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, yeah.
Yeah, no, because like every option, like, because now as a single person, every choice that you make is 100% up to you.
Right.
But once you have a child, every choice you make has to go through that child filter.
Yeah.
Can I go out to get food? Is my child going to be okay while I'm out? Can I go hang out with my boys and pop a cold with the boys? Is my child going to be okay? Do I have a babysitter? Can I go to fucking work?
Yeah.
Is my child going to be all right?
Yeah, there's a lot. There really is, and that's the scary part, is that like there's a lot to think about. Which I think that like humans are going to be their own natural predator in that way. Like,
humans are their own natural predator.
I mean, true, but I mean, like, I'm not saying humans are also killing themselves at a smaller and smaller rate. You know what I mean? Because we're getting more and more advanced. But I think that what's going to limit us, at least I'm hoping so in the future, is that people are going to realize they don't want kids.
Oh, it's already happening.
And it's slowly happening. And a lot of countries were on the decline, but the West is that way. The East isn't.
Yeah.
Like, the West is. China just lifted that one-child ban and the other ban, so them kids are gonna skyrocket over there. The West is the one that's slowly on the decline in terms of population.
So because like we're at a point now where it's like
we've hit critical mass, man.
Well, like we as millennials were sold a dream, like, hey, live life, get a family, and do all this shit. It'll be a good time. And then as you get older, you're just like, yeah, but you know what?
But it's not a good time.
It's not a good time. Right. Like every parent that I've ever spoken to it's like, oh, I love my kids. I love raising them. It's a good. It's very fulfilling. It's very rewarding. But they're always tired. But they're always complaining. But they're always like, oh, I wish I could hang out with y'all, but I can't do that because I gotta go home and hang out with I take care of my kids.
Hang out with my kids.
Well, like, oh, like you guys are throwing a party, I can't come. I gotta take care of my kids. Oh, you guys are doing X, Y, and Z. Like, I can't do that. Oh, oh, I can't do anything spontaneous. Oh, well, I can't find a babysitter. Oh, like, this one lady at place you work at. She has 2 boys, and every day I saw her, she had bags in her eyes. Yeah. And not like, oh, I haven't gotten a full night's sleep. Just, oh, I'm doing too fucking much. Yeah. And like, but she was one of the biggest reasons. I mean, I didn't want kids to begin with. But one of the biggest reasons I submitted that fact was listening to her stories about taking care of her kids, because she loves her kids. She 100% loves her kids, but like the happiest I saw her was when she was able to go on a vacation, like, because it was like her anniversary or something, for her and her husband, and like her parents paid for them to like go on a vacation, and they were going to look after the kids. So she was like, I get to be with my husband with no children for like a week. And that was the happiest fucking thing in her life, in her existence. And I'm like, I don't ever want that to be me. Right. Or it's just like, well, like I love my kids, but being away from them is the happiest joy that I could have. Fuck that.
Yeah, and I've heard people say, I mean, the village to raise a child thing is real, not just because of all the stuff that a child needs to learn, but just because parents need a break from that shit.
Taking care of a kid is a job, man. Like if you need to take a day off from your regular job, you need to take a day off from raising your fucking kids.
Yeah, and I also think that like what hurts us too is that like you hear like the old jokes about our parents used to just let us out the house. The last thing they let us do is stress them, type of thing. Yeah. And then we become the generation that's the opposite. Like it's like we want to be so involved in our kid's life. But I think it just hurts us. I don't know. I think it just fucks us over because you're not supposed to always be. Sometimes you just gotta let your kid fucking run loose and then figure things out.
Oh yeah, but like we also like.
But even running loose, you have to pick up the pieces.
True.
That kid breaks a window. That kid does this. That kid broke his arm. You have to go deal with it.
Yeah, the days are gone when that was just an accepted part of kids, right? Like when you win 60s, 70s and shit, where.
You're playing baseball and you whack the ball and it breaks like Mr. Fudd's window. And you're like, sorry, man. And he's just like,
or you dumb kids. Riding on your bike and you break your arm and your parents take you to the hospital and that was it. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't a lot of thought process into what you did. But now it's just tougher. And then on top of that, like globalization, I don't know. I don't want to get too deep into all of that. But it's just like, I don't know. It seems like we put more and more of a strain on the parents, and all that's going to do is cause that decline. Because a lot of us are realizing, hey, this shit's not a payoff.
Yeah, because I mean, like,
because we realize that you don't have to stop having fun at 30.
Right. Yeah. And that's a good point. Yeah. 30 doesn't have to be the end.
Yeah. No, New York has it down packed. They realize.
Yeah.
You know, I was there a couple months, like last year, sometime in the fall, October, and people there get it. They're 35, they're 32, they're having a good time, 40s. Because you can. Because why not?
Yeah.
Because other people around you are like, oh, look at them not being grown up. What is growing up?
Yeah, what is growing up?
Yeah,
like growing up, your responsibilities is adulthood.
Yeah, it's like, I pay my bills, I pay my taxes. Fuck you, I'm going to go out in the middle of the week and have a drink.
You're a grown-ass adult when you're being responsible for your shit. Yeah, if I go crash my car, if I go beat someone's ass, I'm responsible.
Right.
I get sent to jail.
Yeah. I'm an adult. Sometimes the responsibility is taking care of yourself. Yourself counts as a responsibility as well. Like, so it's like, we forget that too. So you could be, I mean, I just think that the introduction needs to be made because like we were all just saying, the hard part is, please tell me that you still recording. The hard part is, it is. Okay, good. One of the other apps will shut down. But, you know how mad I've been when you've been talking for 30 minutes and none of it got recorded? But, played. But one of the things that we need to really focus on is the idea that, like the same thing I said about like women's rights, like I don't know if we want to get too deep into that necessarily, but with Keo, like my lesbian roommate, we had a conversation about the same type of topic where it's like we need to introduce the idea to people that you don't have to be these things. You know, just like the biggest thing about feminism in movies and stuff isn't necessarily making things take over. You know, like you don't want to. It's not like women are taking over blank, blank, blank. It's that you introduce the idea that a woman can also be this thing. You know what I mean? Like, a bodyguard could be a big, muscly dude, or it could be Wakandan women, or so you know, like you show the idea to people so that when they know they have the chance. And it's the same thing, even with like men and women. Like when you're in your 30s and 40s, there needs to be like this thing where movies and TV where it's like, you can have your kids and your wife and everything if you're in that place, but you could also not if that's not what you want, you know? And make it interesting.
Yeah, you can not have those kids and you can still be living a fulfilled life.
Right. Fulfillment.
Because movies picture like the 30s partying, living it up to be like a solitary life, but it doesn't have to be.
Right. You can enjoy yourself.
It's not the like, oh, because you don't have kids, your life suddenly sucks. No. That's not the case. Like, you can have multiple friends. You don't have to be alone. You can have a partner and not have kids.
Yeah, and the beauty of it is like going along those lines, and not because you haven't just thought about it, but it's the fact that you choosing one and understanding why you choose it is just as important. Because if you're single in your 40s, you will always have lonely moments. There'll be moments in your day or your life or whatever where you look at couples or you look at families and you're like, oh, I wish I had that. But you always have to keep in mind what the other side is too. You know, like the grass isn't greener on either side. You just have to make the decision of what you want, because that wife and kid combo looks fantastic that day, you know what I mean? But then you realize you're locked in. That's permanent. Like once you have had the kids and the wife, even if you get rid, quote unquote, of the wife, you are still with her. Yeah, you're locked in permanently.
And like you said 40s a second ago, but I mean like that's the same shit that I'm going through now. It's just like I'm a single dude, like, and there are definitely times when I hang out. I mean, shit, I live with a couple, and it's just like, there are days where it's just like, oh, you know, y'all are like, you know, having a little lovey-dovey moment. That's cute. I wish I had that. But then on that same token, it's just like, but when you want to watch a Netflix show and you're really invested in it, but you can't watch it right now when you feel like it because you're watching it with your wife or your girlfriend and she's not here right now, so you got to sit there and be patient. That shit sucks for you. I can just go downstairs and binge that shit.
Right. I can do whatever I want because it's just me. Like you pick.
And so like you pick and choose, and it's just like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I haven't chose a life of solitude.
No, I'm not saying solitude. I think that
you ain't need to include that part.
No, man.
Well, live your life.
We know you didn't pick up the Catholic like robes. And
Yeah.
You put it in the whole like celibacy.
I chose the papacy, so I'm not doing this stuff.
You'll excuse me while I fasten my chastity belt.
Back on.
But no, like, I mean, it's one of those things where it's just like, there are days definitely where like, I'm like, oh man, like it would be nice to like be in a relationship. But then seeing other people in relationships and seeing some of the shit that they go through is just like, damn, I'm glad I don't have to deal with that shit.
Right. Because the moments don't always, like, I guess the couple moments when you're together as a couple and things are going well, it's way better than being single. But most of the time, it's not that.
Yeah. Well, depends.
It depends. Yeah, I think both sides have moments of like loneliness, right? Because you can be in a couple, you can have your kids, you can have them surrounded, but it's just like it's like a bubble. Yeah, loneliness isn't exclusive to just being physically alone.
That's a really good point.
At the same time, being single, you know, you could have this great euphoric moment in euphoric times, non-alcohol induced, non-drug induced, just like singularity, you know. And be just as content as a father or as a proud father who just saw his kid graduate. You know?
Yeah, I mean, shit, man. Sometimes as an adult, like accomplishing simple shit is the same like proud moment in yourself as you would get as you know, like.
Because it's relative. Because like that's as happy as like in your life for your particular life and your particular lifestyle. Like that's happiness, and that is what it. You know.
Yeah.
And the point of life is to always enjoy those moments. You know.
Mm-hmm. Life's just a bunch of experiences, I guess. So in the same sense.
Yeah, it's just ups and downs.
Yeah, you gotta optimize. But like I said, at the end of the day, you have to choose. And I think that's the basis of all of it. If you are the one that's making the choice, then it's way easier to justify than if you had just followed along with the plan.
Yeah, there's no easy choices. I don't think there's easy choices. But whatever choice you make or don't make, that's yours. Yeah.
You have to live with it. Like that. The same with college.
Well, yeah, not even committing, but living with it. Like whatever choices, you just have to deal with it and live with it. There's no regrets, right?
Yeah, you have to live with the fact, but it's also about being attentive to your life too, right? Like I think a lot of us, because like the same when we were just discussing about college wasn't a second thought for me. It was, and I mean that both in that it wasn't difficult to get into, but in the same sense, it was like I never thought about the alternatives.
Right.
Like there was no alternative.
Yeah, I never really thought about
nigga, you going to college.
Yeah, right. But was that a justification? I mean, college worked out for me because I needed the socialization. I needed the other stuff. Not like I was some weirdo in high school, but I needed to be able to be with like minds and think with these people that I wasn't accustomed to in high school.
Yeah.
And that was beneficial. And then, fuck, nigga, I lost 200 pounds in college. Yeah. So it's like there was a huge factor there that really benefited me that I don't think I would have gotten if I had stayed at. If I had stayed at home, I wouldn't have lost the weight, and I would be a weird ass nigga. That's for certain.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the same thing that happens with homeschool kids. Like, if you don't socialize them, they just get weird.
True, yeah, and that's not even like. If that's the funny thing is, it's not even their fault.
That's
because you just aren't. You don't.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, that could be a whole nother podcast. We'll save that one for some other time. But yeah, like there's a huge degree of. It's just about being attentive, and that's why I want to look at the future for myself. But also, like, if I could have undone anything in my past, that would be the thing is. Not to have not done it. It's just to have gone back in the past and told young me, like, pay attention to what you do. You can go to college, that is a viable option, but know why you're going there. Yeah, like, don't just go because it seemed like next high school, you know what I mean? Like, that's the way I looked at it. It seemed like high school part 2.
Yeah, it
doesn't have to be.
That's the way I
like. Freshman year of college was grade 13.
Right. It was grade 13, and that's the difficulty of being. And I'm not saying like I'm smart, but that's the difficulty of being like an intelligent person too. Is that because you never really had the difficulties in school growing up, and then you went into college, you didn't have to work at anything ever. You know, like even in college, no bullshit. I mean, my degree was in engineering, but it's like it was very few study sessions. I will say that. Where I was like, most of them were getting homework done, but the rest of them were not studying all day like a lot of other people where it was just chilling at home playing Super Smash and then walking into the test.
I put dumb hours into Super Smash Melee.
Exactly. And I just think about like, even though it was fun, I wouldn't undo it because of all the experiences that I had and all the people that I met, but in the same sense, I could have done more with that time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. If I've taken all of the hours that I had put in Super Smash alone and
fuck, that made me sad.
and put them toward learning a skill or a trade or a craft,
you would be god tier. Yeah, I easily lost from childhood up until college. I've probably lost 1,000 or more, a couple thousand hours to Smash. From like when it first came out as a kid all the way up until easily a couple hours. And if you had just done it for even the most basic shit that you didn't really give a fuck about at first, you would be high in demand whatever it was.
Yeah. Like
it would be unbelievable at what your talent was, and it's just I don't know.
If I had taken all of the collective hours that I have put into video gaming in my entire life and applied it to coding, I'd have made Google.
Oh yeah. Moogle. Like, but
Moogle.
Yeah, Moogle. But you could. I totally agree. But like, even though we're sitting here bullshitting and we're going back and forth, Eddie ain't contributing. He on his phone.
No, I think contributed enough. I think.
Oh, you just listening?
Well, you can look at it like time spent here, time spent there. Like we're not getting it back. It's just like.
Yeah, but I
looking back, it's looking back. That's exactly what you were about to say. Like you gotta look back and just like learn.
Right. That's exactly what I was
saying. You just learn from it. And you just do things differently, or don't do them differently. Just be more satisfied.
Yeah, because you're still in theoretically the first half of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
so it's like you might as well take those lessons and go well.
No, that's why that's the crisis.
That's why
I'm supposed to be an adult, but this is supposed to be just a fraction of my whole life.
Right.
Yeah, man. So fuck up. Yeah. That's my idea right now. Like
there were
Fucking
worse
take a loss.
ways to fuck up. Like, let's be honest with ourselves. The neighborhoods we all came from, all three of us at least, because the people you knew
Oh,
and
absolutely.
the people you left behind, quote unquote, is like, and that's fucked up. I know it's weird to say, but in the same sense, it's true.
Well, they were
people
leaving
left-
themselves behind.
True. I didn't leave them behind. They left themselves behind. But in the same, but it's true. Like it's. I don't want it to be a barometer like for success. It isn't. But it's just knowing that you should be grateful because life didn't come at you in the same way it came at a lot of people you knew.
Yeah.
Like there were a lot of decisions you made that were good decisions that like you can't always be mad at yourself.
So you see your ass in California by the end of this year, bro.
You think so?
You need to be out
I just need you to not be where you are.
All right, true.
No,
I agree.
I need
Bro.
your ass in Cali
Bro.
before the year is out.
Bruh, if you get that gold star, I will personally show up to your job and quit for you.
Oh yeah, I know. I have to really dedicate the rest of my research and the rest of my time to get it out of there. I think it can be done soon in the next couple months, but I'm hitting the ground with resumes, man. Because, like I said, the funny part about the place is that I don't hate the people there.
And
Like
that's
some places are that way where you hate the existence of everybody. You know what I mean? Like I hate you, I hate you.
and
I
that's
hate
that's how you get trapped.
you. Right.
Because it's just like, oh, I hate the place that I'm in, but I like the people that I'm around.
Yeah, right.
And that was the thing. Like I liked the people there too. Like when I was there, I liked the people, and like I was just like, oh, like I like coming in. I like socializing with these people. I like keeping up with their day to day. And like, even though like the corporation as a whole might have a couple of hiccups here and there, it's whatever. Like these people like become like if you let them, they'll become close. They'll become family. And you'll be like, all right, well, like, oh, when times get tough, the company starts doing like some shifty shit. But like
We're together.
But yeah, but you're still together.
We're all
with
on the
people you
same
care
boat.
about, and you all help each other work your way
Right.
through it because you're all going through the same bullshit.
Right.
But you all forget that there's a world outside of this place. There are millions of fucking companies just in this state alone that you could all just pick up and leave and go work for. So it's just like you don't have to deal with this bullshit. You can go
get out
somewhere
there, man.
else,
That's
and
true.
it's just like people resign themselves to being like, oh well, I'm just gonna stay here for the rest of my life. You don't have to do that shit.
Yeah.
You can leave.
You just go.
And just
Go.
like,
You don't really need so
like-
jobs are necessary. Let me make that clear. But just go.
Yeah.
Like, be a barista out there. You're gonna work to get a temp job till you find the right job.
True.
But as long as you're out there,
What
Yeah.
what do I have to do to get that? What do I have to get rid of? I'm thinking about
your job.
I mean, my job. I'm just thinking
'Cause
about
that's-
like,
'cause
the
this
stuff
is
you
what-
have to put in place to just abandon. Like I would
'Cause
have
this
to get
is-
rid of my car. I would have to get rid of
because this is where I'm at right now. Like
Yeah.
once November hits, we'll see what the fuck happens.
Really?
Who's to say? Maybe I end up over there.
Maybe
Yeah.
you stick it out there.
Maybe I go out there. I don't know. I haven't been. I haven't been to LA in like 6 years now. I used to go a lot
Be a
back in college.
barista would be kind of fun actually. Be a barista would be actually kind of fun to do until you
Until you get
until you got another job.
Yeah.
You got that
I mean,
Chipotle
like that-
experience?
I do. I could work at a Starbucks.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I mean, if you know how to word shit properly, you can be like, why did you, I mean, you know how to code, why did you go be a barista? I wanted to work on my soft skills. I wanted to work on my communication. I wanted to
Yeah,
work
nobody
on...
believe in that shit, bro.
Nah,
I'm gonna be like, look, I just abandoned ship of where
Well, no,
I was.
I mean, like, you
Yeah.
can definitely say, hey, like, I moved out here, I needed to make money. This is the main reason why I wanted to do this, but in addition to doing that, it also allows me to work on these things.
Right.
And it's just like, yeah, no, don't just start off with that. Like no one's gonna believe that right off the bat. Like you have to hit them with the truth first, and then let them know, hey, in addition to that, there are also things that I can pick up from these situations, because I do that shit all the time. It's just like there's a learning experience in everything. Like I was talking to my mom the other day, and I was like, I was reminiscing about this chick that I used to mess with in college. And hanging out with her was the worst shit that I've ever done in my life. And my mom was just like, damn, I know you felt like that. And I was like, yeah, but I learned a ton of shit from dealing with all of her bullshit. And in
There you go.
dealing with all of her bullshit has definitely made me into the person that I am today. And so it's just like, I wouldn't have the same thought process. I wouldn't be the same person I am right now if I hadn't gone through that shit.
Right.
So like, for what it's worth, I thank her for being who she fucking was, because it helped me grow into a stronger person. So it's like sometimes you got to go through some bullshit in order to be stronger, in order to get better. So
throw out some dates.
Throw out some dates.
Yeah, I need to be out of there.
Shit, man. I mean, like
Dude, we got plenty of people that are out there right now.
That's
Lou's
true.
out there. Like,
Lou's
out there.
yeah, I mean, yeah, man. It's references and talking to people. Like you got people that if you got people that are out there that know what they're doing.
Let's
man.
hit it up. Let's visit.
All right.
Tickets to LA.
I like $250.
Yeah, let's go.
I mean, shit, man. Fuck. Me and Kia went out there for a day for shits and giggles.
Yeah,
for a
y'all
concert.
should go out for the concert. Yeah.
Dude, let's hit it up next month, April. April.
So you want to go out there April?
Yeah, April.
All right, we could pick a weekend and just go out Friday afternoon and.
Yeah, we'll fly out, come back.
Well,
maybe
I won't be able to make this adventure with y'all because I'm going to Texas at the end of this month. So
I'm going to Panama at the end of the month, but after that,
Panama City or Panama?
Panama City.
Oh, okay.
Now, if I was going to Panama, that'd be a different kind of trip.
I was about to say, yeah. Listen, that's a very different trip. Come back with a wife.
No,
I'm still surprised you didn't come back with a wife from Japan.
I know. Everybody thought the same thing. What am I doing? What am I doing?
Losing, nigga. Like, stop.
Bro, like I said, we'll fly out there in April.
Yeah, we all.
Because there's so many little things that I wanted to do
Yeah, we all out here going through it, man.
that I.
Yeah, we'll fly out in April. We'll catch Lou and then we'll check it out and then yeah.
Let me see if there's some software engineers, some junior ones that are remote too. Because if I can find like I told you, if I can find a remote, I might do an internship. It might be easy to just do an internship. If an internship picks me up out there, I'm just gonna have to quit and I'm gonna just have to give the car up, give it to family or whatever. Or I could probably sell it for a profit as it is now.
Well, there it is, guys. Just kind of do what you got to do and be satisfied with it. I think we should wrap the podcast with that.
You know what? Yeah, I forgot we were on the podcast. All right, it's been another week of Mike not showing up to the goddamn podcast. Pumpernickel volume 3, 4.
Somewhere around
Somewhere around there. All right, it's been good, y'all.